to arguably the top, which would be the only guy with 6 Super Bowl rings in Tom Brady. They make the move for Mohamed Sanu, which we'll get to that in a second. But, of course, our own Adam Schefter did a brilliant job of just connecting the dots on what may be happening with Tom Brady. And for those people that don't know, Field played football at Wesleyan in college and was a member of the Patriots scouting organization, right?
Yeah, so that's the long and short of it there.
Okay.
I like that you mentioned the Wesleyan.
No, absolutely. Listen, it's a good program. Actually, Bill Belichick, by the way, went to Wesleyan, okay? So my question for you is, Adam is not just throwing this out there. And Tom Brady went on WEEI and could have gone full, we're on to Cincinnati. Right. Not talking about this. Guys, I got the Browns. I'm not worried about this. He went on a very reflective, almost minute-long answer about his future. It seems there's a lot more merit to the idea that this may be his last year in New England than people are wanting to admit.
So, a couple of things. If somebody in sports media not named Adam Schefter, I just mentioned this, I think most of us would have just said, like, oh, yeah, technically he is a free agent after this season. But you know something?
It's Adam Schefter.
Right. Well, so when Schefty does it, there's a certain amount of weight that gets thrown behind it because of Adam's, he's got a perfect reputation here in terms of, and he's as well-sourced and reported as anybody in the world of football media. So certainly it puts your radar goes up when Adam says something like that. And then Tom's answer didn't do much to deflect it. So in poking around myself and trying to get a gauge of what maybe people of the organization are thinking about this right now, it's just so fun. Maybe this is just classic Patriots, but it's like everyone I've talked to basically says, I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, like, we got a game on Sunday. We're trying to figure out if we can beat the Browns on Sunday. But I'm like, come on, guys. I'm like, come on. You don't think about it a little bit?
If Tom had just said that, I think, but he didn't.
Yeah,
he didn't.
So there are there are a lot of elements here. And when Tom Brady signed that 1-year restructured contract just before the season, it obviously it introduced the possibility of free agency, but it was it felt more like, hey, this is just the arrangement to get us through this year. We'll take care of the business for next year when we are allowed to, and once the season is over. For the Patriots, there's probably an element of, hey, 42 years old, and even though he's not just one in a million, he's one in forever. It might be, there are probably less wise things to do than lock yourself up to a quarterback at 42. Not that Tom Brady has regressed in any way this season, but hey, you never know. Like, oftentimes with quarterbacks, it's not gradual. Oftentimes it's not fading into the abyss.
With Peyton Manning, it was a cliff.
For Peyton Manning, it was a cliff. For Brett Favre, it was a cliff, and it was, typically right around this age. That's the reason why it's so remarkable that Tom is playing at 42, because guys usually don't even make it to 42 in any position, much less quarterback, which is, it's one of the most important positions in all of sports. So I think probably for the Patriots, it is week by week because they're the Patriots and they're so focused on the task at hand. But I think there is probably a tacit recognition from the organization that, there's no precedent for a guy at 42. So is it the worst thing in the world to want to take things year by year at this stage? No. And by the way, I think Tom feels that way too, because I think he is understanding his own football mortality. He has started to talk about the idea of wanting to spend more time with his family, be a full-time dad more than ever. And if a scenario exists where there's an opportunity to play somewhere else, and I think Tom and probably the organization probably both feel like, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah, it seems like both sides going out of their way to show the other, hey, if you're not fully committed to me, I'm not fully committed to you. And there's always an option for something else. And it seems like a weird sort of show of strength in a relationship that we know is long storied and a little bit complicated in some ways. As ESPN NFL insider Field Yates joins us in studio, giving us the Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless, everything for less, only at Walmart. So looking at that and the Patriots as well. Sorry, it looked like Phil had something to say. I didn't want to step on
it. It sort of feels like both sides, even though right now the possibility seems to exist that Tom Brady could not be with the Patriots because he would be retired or playing elsewhere next year. At least the possibility exists. It feels like both sides are completely okay with this, which seems weird.
Which is so bizarre.
Right, but it feels like everybody's okay with it. We will deal with that when it comes. Whereas most times, we spent the entire NBA season last year talking about where would Kawhi Leonard go? Where would Kevin Durant go? It felt like it was a black cloud hovering over their seasons. For the Patriots and Tom Brady, business as usual. 7-0, looking to improve to 8-0 against the Browns on Sunday.
Yeah, Mom and Dad are sleeping in different beds just because it's comfortable.
Exactly.
One of them needs a storeroom, right?
The only conversation there's ever been about Tom Brady's contract is in training camp. They said, "Are you worried about a new contract?" He's like, "Do I deserve one? What do you think?" And that's it. That's the only conversation we've had about this. As the only guy with 6 rings, and he's going to have all the records when it's all said and done. Yeah, we'll just see what happens after we maybe win a 7th one. It's absolutely bizarre.
Hi everyone, thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports, more analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus. We'll see you there.